Exactly. And so what's he getting at here? Well, he tells us that scientific language is adequate and designed for depicting natural phenomena. But he says we employ a different order of language to describe human events and human relationships, right? He says human experience necessitates metaphysical as well as scientific language. The language describes different aspects of existence, right? And not intrinsically contradictory. So we can talk about, these various physical, types of events that we would say scientific language describes. But when we talk about human action, human activity, human causal events, he's suggesting that we use a different kind of language. It's more metaphysical than the scientific language. And just because we do that doesn't mean that these two types of ways of speaking are intrinsically contradictory to one another, right? What caused I like the illustration that, what's the philosopher who's a mathematician from Oxford gives us about the engine? What caused the engine to go? What caused the engine? Well, the car to go. Well, it was the engine and how the engine worked and that sort of thing. Yes, that's true, but it was also, Henry Ford, right? Who put that together.
Right.
And so there are different kinds of explanations, different kinds of causes that we need to take into account. And so scientific language is not the only way to describe things that happen. He says human history, therefore, is not subject to pure scientific description. The so-called conflict between science and miracles, Ian Ramsey observes, is a pseudo-conflict which only arises when complete adequacy is claimed for the language of science. If science gives us everything we need, then we can't talk about anything else. Well, it doesn't give us everything we need. And so we can talk about things in other ways. And so this religion, science, or miracles and science conflict Ramsey is suggesting is just a false or a pseudo conflict.
Right. And so that's where you might need like your Henry Ford, or is it the pistons moving the vehicle up and down? It's the purpose of the scientist, of the historian, to come and assist the scientist in that. So